Greatest love story band Lanco on debut album, writing truck songs. For Lanco, the five-piece country outfit who took a jangling small-town epic called Greatest Love Story to #1 late in 2017, a single word in the song&apos first verse solidified their go-your-own-way spirit and laid out a path for their buzzworthy debut album Hallelujah Nights. From new LPs by Kacey, Musgraves and Dierks, Bentley to tours by Miranda, Lambert and Chesney. That word? It was car, as opposed to truck, from the line "but you were sneaking out your window every night riding shotgun in my car." I had so many songwriters in Nashville tell me that I needed to change that lyric, says band leader Brandon Lancaster. They were like "and appos you gotta pick her up in a truck, and appos," and that was a defining moment for us. Formed in 2012 by Lancaster, drummer Trip Howell, guitarist Eric Steedley, bassist Chandler Baldwin and multi-instrumentalist Jared Hampton, Lanco, the shortened version of Lancaster and Company, new greatest love story had promise. But 2012 was the beginning of the so-called bro country movement, and as the song&apos sole writer, Lancaster didn't bother following Music City and appos conventional hit-making rules. The song features 3 choruses, all of which are different, along with extra phrases tacked on the end of each verse and an unorthodox structure, plus that car line. So when Lanco started attracting industry attention, more than a few power players advised Lancaster to make some lyrical changes. My response was "and appos I had a truck for a week in high school and took it right back because I cooled and appos afford the gas, and appos," he says, sipping a beer and laughing with the band in their PR firm and appos downtown Nashville offices. Like, why does it have to be a truck? People drive cars, and most importantly, I drove a car. It and appos a weird mind frame to be in, like and appos we should say this because it would be more quote-unquote country. And appos, I grew up in Smyrna, Tennessee, I have a fine idea of what country is, and you don't and appos get to define it for me. I like my version just fine, and I and appos stand by it. Lancaster did stand by it, and he was vindicated by the track going platinum before Lanco and appos debut album even came out, the first time in history that a country band has done so. But he and the band also took that mindset into creating Hallelujah Nights, where their fiercely individual character continues to shine. The new LP was guided by producer Jay Joyce, a proud rule breaker who and appos made a career out of pulling raw, flesh and blood performances from artists like Eric Church, Little Big Town and Brothers Osborne. He and appos done the same with Lanco on Hallelujah Nights, bringing the then unknown band to his East Nashville studio and insisting they play all their own parts, an unusual move in a city renowned for its professional session players, and almost unheard of for a new act. I and appos am gonna be honest, Steedley says. When we first went in, Joyce and appos studio, I was just so floored that we were even in there. I didn't and appos know what to expect. I kind of thought, and appos sure, he likes the music, and he wants to work with us, but we and appos probably not gonna touch this thing. And appos, I mean, what right do I have to walk into a studio in Nashville being some kid straight out of college from Kentucky? Who had to take time off of work to be there, Baldwin chimes in, setting off a cascade of laughs. But no, that was J and appos thing, Steedley continues. We were gonna cut each song whether it took 2 hours or 10, and it was an intense process, but what makes our music special is that you can actually hear us in it. What emerged from those sessions are 11 songs, all of which were written or co-written by Lancaster, hinting at a disregard for the usual way of doing things in country music and irrelevance for classic country storytelling. Sonically, it and appos a mixed bag, with the anthemic roots rock of Greatest Love Story standing alongside flourishes of backroad pop on We Do and Stars Up. Meanwhile, Quirky standout troublemaker fuses the sly strut of Steelers wheel and oppose semicolon s stuck in the middle with you in Little Big Town and oppose semicolon s pontoon. Middle of the Night, which channels Alabama and the nitty-gritty dirt band, also highlights the freedom the 5 players were given to follow their instincts instead of a playbook. We were really pushing ourselves sonically, and then we got to the end and it was like and oppose semicolon okay, let and oppose semicolon s turn this into a shuffle, Lancaster explains. And not only that, we sped up the tempo, which you and oppose semicolon re not supposed to do. Each song comes with a distinct sound, which can feel a bit disjointed at first blush, but closer listens reveal the human connection and deliberation that truly makes Hallelujah Nights stand out among its modern peers. There and oppose semicolon s an actual song cycle, with the end of one track bleeding into the next. It and oppose semicolon s possible to discern that each story is happening in the same town to the same characters. Hallelujah Nights kicks off with the foot-stomping new single Born to Love You, which colors in the setting of Greatest Love Story with red pine trees and white church steeples. Previous release Long Live Tonight describes a local lovers and oppose hideaway with a tiny dance floor, and the rest set their romance in motion. In staring clear of the overused images of truck tailgates and cut-off jeans, Lancaster packs each track with his vibrant, and overlapping, memories. In Pick You Up, Lancaster references his vehicle again, using it as a way to talk about regret and loneliness on both sides of a falling out. I and oppose semicolon V still got this and oppose semicolon 04 V6, he sings. That is, the car I had when I started dating my wife, and that can also be the car you take down to the river in and oppose semicolon middle of the night comma and oppose, which is the same as in and oppose semicolon Greatest Love Story comma and oppose, that whole thing, says Lancaster. You and oppose semicolon re just continuing to paint a consistent picture of who these characters are, who ultimately are us. Finally, the album closes with the 6-minute opus of a title track, a tribute to coming of age, once-in-a-lifetime moments and building a life of firming love, the same relationship that informs the album from the opening bars of Born to Love You. With an engaging narrative, a sound of their own making and uniquely transparent view of songwriting, Lanco and oppose semicolon s approach on Hallelujah Nights may not be conventional, but it and oppose semicolon s certainly a slice of real storytelling and a snapshot of their imperfect, ever-evolving musical abilities. Given the wild success of Greatest Love Story, they and oppose semicolon V already proven the approach can work. You don and oppose semicolon T want to be different for being different and oppose semicolon S sake, because that feels cheap, Lancaster says. But it and oppose semicolon S like and oppose semicolon do we like it? Does it give us that feeling inside we and oppose semicolon V all been chasing since we learned how to play instruments and oppose, if it and oppose semicolon S giving us that feeling, let and oppose semicolon S do it.